Moskova.
Moskva.
I hope you learn out. You can't be loved by the word that crucified the most perfect man.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Like coming back with a Maybach. He raised 11 children.
11 children.
Then he had 2 wives.
That's crazy. Biggest skate park in Zambia, right?
The only skate park.
Is it the biggest skate park in Zambia?
It's the only one.
It's the only skate park in Zambia.
I think being a man is kind of tough.
I sort of feel I lacked that manly father figure. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Self-Love Podcast with Boz Zambia. And today I'm so excited. We have a very special guest. To me, may I call him Mr. Wizkid Moscow, Johnny Kalenga. Johnny is a brilliant young African, Zambian, from Mongo. He's a lot of things. So we're going to talking to him, finding out what he thinks about self-love. You know, we talk about self-love. Like I always say, this podcast is so personal to me because I didn't know how to love myself. And so I share these conversations with people and find out how they're able to love themselves so I can keep on loving ourselves. Because I think that the most important love is love of self. Johnny, welcome, bro.
Wow. Who would have thought?
Welcome, bro.
Moskova. We're here. Hi, guys. Like Mr. Uncle Boz said here, my name is Johnny K, a.k.a. Mr. Wizkid Mongo, a.k.a. Mr. Lukabahande, all the way from the small town, Sandyside, Mongo. I'm so glad to be here. And, you know, the topic of self-love is such an important one to me too, because I feel like my dreams were built around realizing that self-love was the most superpower that I had.
Thank you. And we're going to dive in more into that conversation. I'm so happy to see you, first of all. I'll start with the first time I got to know you. I might mistake the years, but I think probably 2018? 2019, yeah. 2019, there's this group. Shout out to GTF, by the way.
GTF to the
Guys
world.
talking football, yeah.
GTF to the world.
Yeah, there's a football group where we connected. And then I was in Zambia then, and we had a football tournament. Then we met there. Since then, I'm like, this guy. Tell us about what you do, first of all.
First things first, I live life.
Mm-hmm.
Second things second, I love God.
Mm-hmm.
Third things third, you know, I skateboard. Like I said, I live life, skateboard, love God, and pretty much my life is surrounded around that.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. But in a nutshell, I'm quite a couple of things. I'm founder of Wizkid Mongo, which is pretty much a non-profit social skateboarding organization that is using skateboarding as a tool to inspire kids to find themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm Olympic coach. I'm vice president. I'm a vibe. I'm a child of God. I'm your friend, a brother. Yes, sir.
And to be honest, I've always been inspired by you, and I've always been a fan, a huge fan. I remember, fan is the right word, actually, because I remember we wrote about you. I think one of that time Axam was just starting, and we used to write stories about like Zambian people.
You guys were not called Axam by then.
What were we called?
I don't remember, but
maybe a non-Zambian, I guess.
Was that what your
Yes.
website was called?
It's always been a non-Zambian. Maybe because Axam is a short for a non-Zambian.
Okay, maybe.
And I approached you, said, bro, I want to write about you. I'm seeing what you're doing. I think you were probably first 5 people written about.
Yeah.
Until date, it's one of the most read articles, I must say, because of the amount of impact that you have. You know, your works built a skate park, right? That's what you call it, right?
Yeah,
a skate park in Mongo.
Yeah.
Not Lusaka, but Mongo, right? All the way in Mongo. You're in Moscow, not for the first time. You know, it's really inspirational. But, you know, I know behind all these great things that you do, there's Johnny.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I would love to find out. Who is Johnny? Like, as a person, without all these amazing things that you do?
I would say for me, outside of everything that I do and outside of things that I show the world, I'm just someone who's really, quite inspired by the superpower of the mind and what happens when one finds themselves, what happens when one accepts who they are, and what happens when one person kind of like stops following the masses and try to figure out who they are. I'm a very extroverted introvert. People think I'm an outgoing person. Yes, I am, but at the same time, I took quite a lot of time being on my own, knowing myself, and I think I realized that there's more power in trying to help people get to know themselves. There's more power in trying to help people get to accept who they really are. And I'd say, in a nutshell, that's who I am. I'm just someone who loves the world, who loves love, who's in love with, chasing dreams and what happens when one person doesn't give up on things that they're after.
How many times have you given up?
I wouldn't say I've ever given up on something. There's only, the thought of giving up on what I'm doing only once occurred to me. I remember it was in 2022. So a short background story to that was, I was applying for a certain grant to build a creative arts school. And it's like a complicated story, but I didn't have my full registration by then. But we got the grant, then we lost the grant because like a lot of things were happening then. I think it was about a grant of about like 1.8, 1.9, 2 million. And, I lost the grant then. And some of my partners that I was working with, because of like some things that happened, they were dropping out and they were seeing me in another picture. And to myself, I was just thinking like, I've been doing this way before the money even came about in my mind. And I've always been doing this to help other people. And in that moment, the imposter syndrome kind of like kicks in and starts asking you like, are you sure? Is this what you're really doing?
Yeah.
Like, are you a good person? Like, what if this is your true colors? Like, you make a couple of mistakes and, all of a sudden, all the 99 good that you did are overshadowed by that one. And in that moment, I was like, you know what? At any point, I can quit this and I know I'll be okay because I've learned myself and I know how to get things back. But like, if I quit, what about the people that look up to me?
Yeah.
What about the people that I'm doing this for?
Yeah.
And like all the effort that I put in to get where I am, all that effort wasted, then, it's pretty much more of like, let me see what happens when I go all the way to the end. Even if there's no end, I guess we'll never know because I won't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why I asked that question is because that's the whole reason I started this podcast, because there were times when I gave up, and like similar to what you're saying, you think that, am I really worth it? Is it really my thing? And I came to understand the best way to sort of like get back to your feet is when you constantly learn how to love yourself, and that's why I'm going to ask you, like skateboarding, to be honest, is not like a popular sport, even in our country, in our culture.
Yeah.
So it's only football and probably basketball. You went to skate, something that an average Zambian would even think about, maybe some rich kids here and there in Lusaka, but a guy in Mongo even ends up in Moscow, How did you end up with a skateboard? Also, what are you doing in Moscow?
So first things first, let me answer. So in Moscow, I'm here for the Grand Skate Tour.
Yeah.
It's pretty much an international competition that brings skateboarders from all over the world, athletes, coaches, to just bring them in one place, to network. There's a forum, cultural exchanges, a huge competition that happens. And, shout out to Grand Skate Tour, shout out to the Russian Federation for the opportunity for always looking out for us. And then to answer the first question, which is why skateboarding?
Yeah.
It's so funny because I chose skateboarding because of self-love.
Okay.
So a small background story to it is that I have 10 siblings. I grew up in a polygamous house. So I grew up with 2 mothers and a father and a bunch of half siblings. And when you grow up in a loud house like that, so it's like, imagine the children are 11 and then there's a couple of cousins on top of that and then all these other dependents. And there was a lot of struggle for identity and there was a lot of also, look at your sister, look at your brother, they're doing this and everything like that. And from such a young age, I've always wanted to be unique, and I hated being compared to other people. And in the way of trying to find what was for me, trying to love myself better, it pretty much started in 3rd grade. So I'm going to run through this story quickly. So
Take your time.
When I was in 3rd grade, I went to this new school. I don't know if some of these people in this story remember it or not, but like eventually, we grew up and we became cool with it.
Wait, sorry. How old were you in 3rd grade?
In 3rd grade, I was about 10, 11.
10-year-old.
Yeah. So in 3rd grade, I went to this new school and the school wasn't like new because I went there. No, it was like literally the school just popped up and it had like less than 15.
Is that in Mongo?
That was in Mongo.
Okay.
So it had like less than 15 pupils. So like in a class, maybe we're like 3-5 people and everything like that. So I went to this new school and there was this guy, I'm not going to mention his name, but, we eventually became cool about it. And there was this guy who kind of like, self-proclaimed himself as the king of that school. And he had people around him and like almost everyone would listen to him. Whatever he says, he tells people to do, And I think at such a young age, that's how I got to learn about self-love. I noticed that people were doing certain things that they didn't want to do only because they wanted to accept themselves. So it kind of like there was a time where I think he wanted me to do something and in my head, like a follower mentality didn't make sense to me. So he told me to do something and I was like, sorry, what? I didn't get that. It's like, on it, I was like, why would you think I would do this because you tell me to do it? And tried to work around it. And I said, no, like you and I are almost the same age. Why should I be listening to you? And what ended up happening was that him and his group stopped hanging out with me. And literally every pupil in the school, even though there are not a lot of them, stopped talking to me. Like everyone wasn't talking to me. Because if you're still talking to me, then they stop hanging out with you. The only people who were talking to me was my young brother and my young sister. And in that moment, instead of me kind of like going into a space of like, oh damn, no one is talking to me, and everything like that, I started realizing at such a young age that in this life, the moment that you love yourself enough, the moment that you accept who you are, and the moment that you make friendship with being alone and you're comfortable in that state, you'll be untouchable because you won't be scared of anything. You literally will be untouchable. And like I made friendship with loneliness. And in that moment that no one was talking to me, it's break time, people have gone to hang out with themselves and I was just alone. I'd get a science book, I'm reading it and everything like that. So I started to realize that every time I'm in class and the teacher's asking questions, I knew literally every single answer. And I didn't even read these books that much. And I was starting to realize like, oh damn, I'm not dumb. I just don't read these things. And in that moment that, the teacher's like starting to get impressed with you and everything like that, and you're answering questions and these guys are passing comments to you, they don't want to hang out with you, every chance they get, they're teasing you, that was strengthening my mind. It became something that was like, it's like that song for Big Sean, One Man Can Change the World.
Yeah.
Where he says, like, I hope you learn how to make it on your own. Because if you love yourself, and without realizing what was happening then, I learned how to accept myself and not to change myself for anyone. And I kid you not, I vowed to be the coolest person that I know in my life. And after I moved away from that school, literally from whatever school that I went to, from grade 4 going forward, the only people that I started hanging out with were people that were kind of like treated as nerds. They were not cool enough. I wasn't hanging out with the I find
cool
cookies at the school and everything like that.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You know? And I think in reinventing who I was, like I was quite an athletic guy. Sometimes you find you're the fastest guy in school, you're the strongest guy in school, you can backflip and everything like that. And like, people think you're a vibe and everything like that. But who are you hanging out with? All the people that have been shunned away. And it's so funny because when I met my friend Joshua, who's in this studio, but then these guys were just like, the kids were so, they're so too invested in their books, bro. Like, they're always studying and everything like that. And I found myself hanging out with him.
Is that true, Joshua?
I found myself hanging out with him. There's another guy, Enoch, another guy, Xavier. And these were the guys that were always getting first in class, And then the other kids that ended up like, as time went by, the ones that were drinking and everything like that. And me finding myself with these guys who were like not so big on trying to be out there.
Yeah.
I started being mentally challenged, like, okay, cool. Every time there's exams and everything like that, the people that you're always surrounding yourself with are doing good. And then you find yourself, your grades are so bad. So like, I think like, damn, man, I'm hanging out with Joshua. Joshua's always first in class, bro. Joshua is the math genius. I'm hanging out with Xavier. Xavier loves science. Enoch is literally a computer, bro. And I'm like, I need to work on myself.
Yeah.
So with that, realizing self-love and vowing to like, be the person who bullies the bully and hang out with like the nerds in the school. Literally, everyone who I was hanging out with, they became one of the coolest people in school. You know why? Because not only did they have the brains, they also had like the cool element to them.
Yeah.
So like now, the people that didn't want to hang out with them, now they want to be friends with them. So we kind of like leveled that thing out. So in the midst of like trying to be unique, trying to find myself, trying to be a rebel somehow, I found skateboarding. And even without realizing the culture around skateboarding, which I later on found out, I realized that it's one of the most dope sports there is out there. It's a representation of freedom and self-love. Because skateboarding pushes you to do something dangerous, and in the moment that you're failing to do it, you keep on pushing yourself. You're falling down, you're getting back up. You're falling down, you're getting back up. By the time that you manage to do what you're trying to do, every little pain that you felt will be non-existent. You see, skateboarding is a sport that we accept everybody who comes to the table. We don't have uniforms. We don't have size. We don't have preferences. We don't have gender. It's just like a sport that embraces the unity in diversity of people. And it doesn't matter whether you're poor, rich or not. If you're good at it, you're good at it. And later on, I realized that, after going into this and teaching skateboarding, all the kids that were from well-to-do families wanted to be friends with the kids that were not from well-to-do families. Why? Because the kids that were not from well-to-do families were so good at this that those kids wanted to learn. And even so, we created these unspoken rules. So it's like, you see, everyone is just hanging out with everyone. And I kid you not, the first time that I got into skateboarding seriously, and this was after my accident, which we'll get back to that. And this is around 2016, I get into skateboarding and I'm into this. So I'm researching about skateboarding in Zambia. Seeing all these posts on social media and everything like that.
Yeah.
By that time, street culture was popping and everything like that.
I remember street culture.
I'd never even attended one single street culture.
It just happened in Lusaka,
In
no?
Lusaka, yes. So I got to Lusaka and I finally meet skaters. And it kind of like took me back to third grade because these people were hanging out with their own.
Yeah.
The rich kids were hanging out with the rich kids.
Yeah.
If you're not good, you've been shunned away.
Yeah.
If you're what, they just like look at you.
All right.
Like you're not one of them, They just look at you like you're not one of them. And this literally is one of the things that made me create Whisket Mungu. Because I really felt like an outcast so much.
In Lusaka?
In Lusaka.
Okay.
Like in the skating scene that was there by then before I was in it.
Right.
To the point, because it doesn't happen the way it happens now. Now, if you go to NASDAQ and there's a bunch of people that are skating, the good guys who are so good at it, the OGs and everything like that. If you're new at it, everyone's like, hey, what's up, man? Like everyone's interacting with you.
Yeah.
But like when I came in the scene, like people didn't care about you. Like no one's going to try and ask about your name and everything like that.
Yeah.
But like now we kind of created a culture of where we try and bring everyone, in. And so after feeling like an outcast, I vowed to myself, like, you know what? I'm going to go back home. I'm going to teach my own people how to skate. And I vowed to them, I told them, I guarantee you guys are going to want to come to Mongu. You guys are going to want to visit us, Yeah. I guarantee you. And in the midst of that, trying to like find my identity out of the 10 siblings, out of the 11 children that my father had. My brother was a DJ, he could dance. My sisters were what, and they could dance. This one is into fashion. This one is into modeling. This one, like, everyone had, almost like everything was taken.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I bet no one's going to try and take skateboarding.
Okay. Okay. So as I have understood your story, it's basically this journey of trying to be unique and trying to show people that, oh, I'm actually here, I'm present, right? And I must imagine you struggled a lot in that journey. How have you dealt with struggling with loving yourself? Because again, there should be moments when you doubted yourself, when that bully guy was bullying you, when you went to Lusaka and the Lusaka cool kids looked at you like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
What did you do, and how did you always get back to your feet? Like, in terms of loving yourself and just like, I need to prove a point.
Yeah, I think, like I said, like at quite a very early age, I had the realization that it wasn't about me. The problem wasn't about me. And the moment that I accepted that I can't be everybody's cup of tea, that kind of gave me leverage into knowing that whether someone likes you or doesn't like you, you have no power over that. The only power that you have is how do you react to it? Like in moments where I felt like, I think after accepting what life kind of is and realizing that when you feel unloved and then you go to the source, like, why do you feel unloved? Because it doesn't come from within you. Someone else makes you feel unloved.
Yeah.
So like the question is like, why do they have that power over you? And it's still something that I carry right now. Let's say if I meet a beautiful woman,
Yeah.
and she just doesn't feel the same way about me, I know that, I'm not her cup of tea, but at the same time, I know I'm not ugly. It's not about me.
Yeah.
You can't be loved by everyone. You can't be loved by the world that crucified the most perfect man to ever live.
Jesus Christ. Right.
Like it's human. That's like, even you don't like everyone.
Of course.
There's people that, not to jump into it. There's people that you naturally don't like.
Yeah.
And it's not about them.
Yeah.
We need to introspect. So I kind of like just looked in within, and as the years were going by, I was realizing that I was building something within me that like now is kind of unbreakable. I built so much self-belief, confidence, and like skating in itself. Skating really helped me build the most confidence in my life.
Yeah.
Because you don't just keep on falling down.
Can I mention one thing?
Yeah.
I watched your skating. Are they games? What do you call it? Yeah, for the first time when I came to the Grand, what's it called again? Grand Skate Tour.
Yeah, GST.
What was amazing is how, like you mentioned, right? I never knew like how when you fall down, they'll give you a chance to do it again. That was so cool. Like I saw that guy who kept on failing until he did it. It's so amazing to see like you fall once, twice, 3 times. The 4th time, he does, and wow, that's
like,
so beautiful.
Skateboarding is one of the few sports. So imagine, so take what he was doing as a penalty in football. That's exactly what it is. So imagine the feeling that you feel after you miss the penalty.
Yeah.
And then imagine the feeling that we feel after you keep on failing and all of a sudden you land it.
You landed, yeah.
Do you think you're going to remember about the times you failed?
No. You remember the time.
I remember my friend Evan, I was trying to do a trick and he told me like, bro, if you land it, it won't hurt.
Yeah.
If you land it, it won't hurt. You see, skateboarders have a mindset of, they see something is impossible, but they'll still try it anyway. You don't keep on hitting your head down and not have the confidence to, like, if someone insults you, so what? Do you know how many times I've cracked my head on the ground? Do you think an insult is going to hurt me?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much more of like, self-love is not about other people thinking you're a lovable person. Self-love is about introspection. It's about looking within you. Because you can't, see, if this water inside this cup is the self-love, when you pour it into another person, you're pouring self-love into them. If your cup is empty, what are you pouring out there? And you see, people nowadays read energies. Like what's within you, within you, truly deep down, is what you're going to give out. You can pretend, but eventually people are going to see your cup is empty.
Yes. It shows. It shows it with time.
If you don't love yourself, it's easy. It's easy to see that you don't love yourself. And you can't love other people if you don't love yourself.
I need to write that down. Shout out to our producer, Akim. He's here. Do that thing. Whatever. Okay.
So it's like you're asking me like, oh, how did I do it? I gained so much confidence and self-love. And literally, that was the moment that I loved myself. It was my biggest superpower ever. Everything that has ever happened in my life that tried to bring me down, it was because of self-love that kept me afloat. And I can't even remember a time that I haven't, like, something bad happens in my life and I'm thinking like, oh, damn, I need to hide. My dad always told me like, when something bad happens in your life, the bigger the thing that happens, the bigger the better thing that is coming. Because life will keep on moving forward. It's not going to wait for you. Whether you hate yourself today or whatnot. It's like this thing where people do, someone hates them and they're trying to hide into the darkness and everything like that. And the person who hurt them, they keep on glowing more and more.
Right.
More and more.
You know what they say, like, what's the common saying? Like, life is not a Nigerian movie.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't mean somebody will hurt you and their life will end.
Then you're going to go to Moscow and when you come back to Zambia, coming back with a Maybach and everything like that. Bro.
Johnny, speaking about your dad, there's something that is common between me and you. We both lost our fathers, right? Well, I lost mine when I was way younger.
Yeah, you're quite
when
young.
I was 6 or 7, I don't remember. But, that kind of grief, even now I'm 27, I still feel the pain from time to time. How did, losing, you just mentioned him right now, and you mentioned how he gave you advice and he was supportive. I always saw from your stories and so on. How did losing your father affect your journey, and how did you still love yourself through all that pain?
I think, sometimes I think about it and I wonder if it's a good thing or not. I don't know if I've even had a chance to mourn my dad, because from the time that he passed away, all I did was just celebrate his life. Celebrate the life he lived, celebrate what he said, celebrate what he taught me, celebrate everything that I've learned from him just by watching him. It's not easy. Freaking 11 children all go to school. They're trying to be there for each and every child. And it's so funny because I was one of the children, at least speaking for myself, that, wanted to get it on my own. I wasn't one of them that wanted to ask for help all the time and everything like that. I don't know how many times my father has bought his children phones, but I know he bought me a phone once. And ever since then, it's like I've been buying myself stuff, I remember one time I got him so pissed. I asked money from him, and I told him I'll pay you back. He was so like it's
The
only,
audacity.
like it was only after I said it that I realized what I'd said. He was so pissed. He was like, "Pay me back for what?"
Yeah.
And I felt like he always wanted me. After he realized, like, you're always gonna do your own thing. You're always gonna be the wild one. You're always gonna be the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
He just supported me on that and always wanted me to do my own thing. At some point I asked him like, "Oh no, I want to go to school and go do this." And it's like, "Oh no, chill, like school's going to be there. Do this, chase your dreams. Oh, I want to do this. No. Chill, that's not for you. Like, chase your dreams." Like he always made sure that I'm chasing after what I want. And he didn't miss a moment. He would always say like, "I'm proud of you. I like that." And like things like that, they make you feel seen.
Yeah.
They make you feel accepted.
Yeah.
And you love yourself better, Like African parents, I think we have a misconception about African parents not wanting to support our dreams. African parents love us so much to the point where they're going to get us. From a young age, they observe what type of person we are. So let's say you're a family of 3.
Mm-hmm.
There's the smart one, a little bit smarter, and then there's the dumb one. The dumb ones are always the creative ones. So let's say there's the smart one, medium rare, and then there's the creative.
Yeah.
They're gonna get the smart one, whether he likes it or not. Gonna send him to university and make him study the hardest course there is. No, you're gonna be an engineer.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna be a doctor. No, you're gonna be a nuclear physicist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then there's gonna be.
Are you talking about about Joshua?
and then there's gonna be like, let's say there's like an okay sibling.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart, but he's not the brightest egg in the room.
Yeah.
Gonna get him. Okay, cool. Gonna throw him to the social sciences.
Yeah.
Or they'll throw him like, "Oh no, you're gonna do teaching." And then there is that another day. "Hey, why can't you just be like your siblings? Hey, what do you mean you want to do music? Hey, what like?"
That sounds like me.
Yeah, so it's like when you look at all these things, it's not like they don't want to support us. They're pissed more about the one that wants to do music because that's the most risky thing there is.
Mm.
Even the one that is doing medicine, because they haven't been given a chance to be asked like, "What do you want to do? What do you want to study?" This is why, like, someone is just grumpy all the time. They're a doctor. Oh, what did you study? They're not even happy about the course that they studied.
Yeah.
I know, I don't want to disappoint whoever it is. I don't want to, like, it's not like they don't want to support our dreams. They're going to get us because they've been observing us from such a young age. And because we don't speak out and tell them what we want to do, they're going to put us in bubbles where they think is the safest for us.
Mm.
They're going to get the smartest one, throw him to the hardest course. Why? Because they want him to be more secure and everything like that. Oh, this is the job that has a lot of high employment rates. First things first, nothing in this life is guaranteed at all.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. You can get into a course that has the highest employment rate in the country, and you'll be the 1% that doesn't get employed.
I always say the only thing that is guaranteed is death.
Yes.
Yeah.
And change.
Well, change. Maybe, yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
Things, even right now, 2 minutes ago, we literally just evolved. We're not the same people
Mm-hmm.
that we were 2 minutes ago. And people think like, it's funny because I think about it now. It's in a way of the only reason why people who are doing whatever courses they are doing in different spaces and in different universities, the only reason why they think it's guaranteed and why they feel like they're guaranteed to have a job right now,
Mm-hmm.
and why others are even going to have a job and say, "See, I told you so," is because of their faith. They believe it so much right now, they're manifesting it. By the time it happens, it's something that they were working already towards.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, like nothing, whether this, so you ask yourself like, oh, the siblings of the most famous people that didn't go do art, the Picasso's brothers, the famous musicians' brothers and siblings, you know?
Yeah.
Why aren't they as famous as their siblings? They're scholars. They probably have nice paying jobs and everything like that. They're not making as much money. So if you like, why do we always think that good things can only happen for others? You know, we have a habit of like when something bad happens, that thing where we say like, I knew it. I knew it. Like, do you know why? Do you know why every time you think something bad is going to happen and then it happens and then you say you knew it? Do you know why it always happens?
Why?
Because you have so much faith in bad things happening more than good things. It's not like you knew it was going to happen. No, you made it happen. You chose it. You literally poured all your faith in it so much.
In the negative. Right?
Yes, you literally believed in it so much with all your energy. And then it happened. And then you tell yourself, I knew it. And then like, let's say if you want something good to happen in your life, and then it doesn't happen. And then you say, I knew it wasn't going to happen. Yes, because you poured all your energy in knowing that it wasn't going to happen. You know?
Yeah.
It's like already, nothing in life is guaranteed. Parents, like once you make an African parent feel secure in what you're doing, they will literally be your biggest supporter.
Yeah. And, I think I could see there were times he would comment on your post, right, on Facebook. I think he was very, very supportive to you. I want to ask you, if he was alive right now, what do you think he would tell you right now?
He would say, sometimes it's not always good to listen to your elders. Because if your elders tell you something and then you do that, because first things first, to put reference to this is us African kids, we are raised to always think our elders are right.
Yeah.
And even them, they don't know what they're doing,
to
be honest. So he says, it's not always good to listen to your elders when they tell you to do something that you don't feel is right for you. Because let's say, if he tells me, go be a mathematician, and then I follow through with that, and then even though it comes to pass, and then I hate my life for that, and then I'm at a stage or at an age where I don't have to listen to him anymore, all I'm going to do is resent him.
Yeah.
Because so it's like, listen to your heart. Yes, listen to your elders too, but listen to your own heart. Because at some point, we're all growing. You're going to reach an age where you don't have to listen to your father anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever they tell you are just suggestions, and you choose whether to do it or not. And if you hate your life because of something they advised you to do, you're going to hate them. I think also as Africans, we are so scared to take the road that is less traveled. I think not just as Africans, I think it's pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's scared to take the road that is less traveled because there's no guarantee to it. But that's the illusion to it. There's no guarantee to anything.
Now I'm going to twist it, right? Obviously, there's been a gap in his absence. For me, I'll talk about my own experience first, right? The thing that I struggle with the most, and I think I have struggled with the most, is like the aspect of being a man with women and partners. I had to learn all these things because I sort of feel I lacked that manly father figure close to me who can guide me. Like for me right now, I tell most of my young brothers, if a girl is acting funny or this, kind of these manly advices, and I've had that absence for a long time. What is one thing that you would tell him, or what is that one question you would ask him that you feel you are kind of struggling with after his death? Is there anything part of you that,
I mean, I guess now it's kind of funny. Now it's funny because when I look at how life is going for us, let's say I'm a guy. Right now, I'm 25. I don't even have as many responsibilities. And yet, life is kicking my ass. He raised 11 children.
11 children.
Then he had 2 wives.
That's crazy. That's a lot.
Like, I'm wondering, like, was the money a little bit more back then?
Right.
Or it, like, like, I feel also what you're saying about lacking these things is, I feel like as Africans or Zambians or whatever it is, I think our parents are scared to tutor us a lot about that. Like, it kind of feels weird for them to talk about certain things. Like, I can't say like, oh, I sat down with my father and he told me about women
Right.
and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yes.
Some things were things that we had to observe for ourselves.
Yeah.
And not everything was good. I know for a fact I don't want 2 wives. He had these reasons why he has 11 children. I don't want that many children, And I always asked him, like, why do you have so many children? And he said, I was born the only child. So,
Makes sense.
So, like, for him, it makes sense. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's good for you. I was born with 10 other siblings. I know I don't want, like, that type of thing. And times are evolving.
Right.
Times are changing. Like, what our parents, like, it's so funny because this is Joshua wrote a song and it talks about this exact thing about how our parents had their own thing. Like, now what is happening?
Joshua, you need to sing this song for us.
Now what is happening in our generation is totally a different thing.
Right.
And I think I guess like the principle to being a man and anything like that is almost the same, but what you consider being a man to you can be different to me. Can be different to Joshua. Can be different to my father and all these other people. And how to treat women, how to love people and everything like that. Love is something that is tailor-made to a person. The type of love I'm going to give you is not the type of love I'm going to give Joshua. It's not the type of love I'm going to give King Yoye.
Yeah.
Shout
out to King Yoye again. King Yoye is in the studio
right now, but he's doing
good headsets.
He's doing his own thing. And I think being a man is kind of tough.
Yeah.
Because we're deprived of love so much to the point where, like, even when a little bit of it is sprinkled on us, we do extraordinary things.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when my father became my biggest supporter, I haven't failed, bro. I just keep on moving from one level to the other. It feels like my biggest hope. I mean, I don't think I would have still failed because, bro, I don't like failure. But I think things would have moved slower.
Yeah.
Things would have moved slower. And I really, like, right now, to answer your question, like, what would I have asked him? Like, I guess I'd ask him, like, how did you manage?
To raise 11 children.
11 children. Because eventually I kind of figured out, like, we men at the same time are almost the same. We all need love.
Yeah.
We all need appreciation.
Yeah.
And, like, thinking about it, like, I kind of see some of the things that he lacked. I kind of see, like, at some point how some of his children were ungrateful, maybe even me included.
Yeah.
How I always thought he always had money. I felt like I'm entitled to every time that I ask.
Yeah.
He's supposed to provide. Now my young brother is asking me for stuff. He has the illusion of thinking like I always have money.
Yeah.
Because, like, how do you stay strong? Because not only home was beating him up, there was work too.
Right.
There was real life.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they had it tough, bro. They had it tough. Like, our parents had it rough, man. Like, now us, you can hustle, do a couple of modeling online, do a couple of online stuff for people. They give you a cup of kwacha. They didn't have that, bro.
They had to go through.
Like.
Well, I guess that's a beautiful question. If you asked it he can give a perspective. I would also want to ask that question because 11 children.
It's wild, bro.
Wow. Oh, let's go back to Weskate Mongo. Weskate Mongo, the only skate park in Mongo. Biggest skate park in Zambia, right?
The only skate park.
Is it the biggest
Zambia.
skate park in Zambia?
It's the only one.
It's the only skate park in Zambia.
Only skate park in the
This
country.
guy facilitated the building of the only skate park. I'm sitting next to greatness, guys. Anyway, quick question. Again, to self-love, like you've mentioned, the whole idea of you having this skate park for the young people to learn skating, building it in Mongo. I think it's an act of self-love, don't you think? Because
think so.
you are sort of giving yourself and saving yourself for the community, right?
Now that you mention it, I think self-love also has a lot to do with giving yourself out there, giving a part of yourself to people.
Yes.
If you love yourself,
the Bible, is it the Bible? Bible says, God, I'm quoting. What's that quote again? Oh my God.
Love yourself as you
No, love yourself. Anyway, I'll try and remember it. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. And really, I think at some point I had the realization going back to the verse about, love your neighbors, you love yourself.
Love your neighbors, love yourself, yeah. One of the biggest commandments.
Yes. And when you really look at that commandment, at least the way I take it for myself, wasn't about, the focus wasn't about
self.
It was about the neighbor.
Okay. That's a new perspective.
It was about loving the neighbor.
Right.
Because if you love the neighbor, then you know love. Because in Galatians, I think it says, if you do not know love, then you do not know God.
Yeah.
And if you do not know God, then you do not know love. That verse wasn't even about us loving ourselves. It was about us loving our neighbor.
Yeah.
So imagine you love your neighbor and then your neighbor is loving you. Do you think you're going to lack love? You're not. If you
Too much love.
Yes. If you do it right, everyone is literally going to have love.
Right.
Because every time you're pouring into someone's cup, the person right behind you is pouring into your cup. The person right behind them is pouring into their cup. Then there's just going to be so much love going on. Have you noticed in those healthy friend groups, like the boys groups, you just feel like, bro, I love the homies, man. And you love the homies so much, and then the homies also love you back. And you're not even thinking about in that time when you're chilling with the homies, you're not thinking about self-love.
Yeah.
You're just thinking about loving the homies, and then the homies love you right back.
Yeah.
Because you're loving the neighbor right. Then the neighbor is also loving you right.
Yeah.
It wasn't about us loving ourselves. But at the same time, it was about us first learning how to love ourselves.
Because like you said, right, you are full inside and you are given. So the whole act of loving or falling in love with ourselves is not necessarily for us, but for others, And the moment we love ourselves enough, we even love better.
Yes.
We even love better. So
now you realize that self-love really isn't about us loving ourselves. Because the moment that you have enough self-love for yourself, you're just you start noticing how much little of people love themselves.
Yeah.
And I realized what was my goal for the skate park and everything like that. And then I came to the realization it wasn't about teaching kids how to skate. It wasn't I can teach a kid how to skate, he can get so good at skating. The moment he leaves the skate park, he's going back to a home that doesn't love him.
Right.
He's going back to that space that he doesn't love himself. But the moment that you teach them self-love and they change the perspective of how they see things, whether they're from a poor house, there's no meal to eat tomorrow and everything like that, they start realizing that, those problems are not permanent. And those are not their problems. Those are pretty much more of their parents' problems. And they can get out of that situation. The decisions that their parents made, whether it was deliberate or not deliberate, got them in a situation where now they're from a home that is broken and everything like that. But that shouldn't determine their space. So the moment that they change their perspective on what is possible and what is impossible, they start realizing that, okay, doesn't matter if I grew up in a house built out of reeds, or I grew up in a house with a leaking roof.
Yeah.
I can be in Moscow because of something that I love to do. I can be an Olympian because of something that I love to do. Like, we believe so much that these nice things are reserved for certain people and not us. And then it's pretty much more of the saying, unspoken expectations lead to premeditated resentments.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is why people hate meeting their idols,
Yeah.
because they have certain expectations in their heads, which they haven't discussed with whoever they're going to meet. And when those people don't meet those expectations, now they hate them. You know?
Johnny, I have quick fire questions. These ones I don't want you to overthink. Just go straight to the answer. The first answer that comes to your mind, right? Number one, what daily rituals keep you grounded?
I think praying keeps me grounded, even though I don't do it as much anymore. Like I pray, even though I don't do it as much anymore. And sometimes it's like, it's so kind of tricky in a point where if the whole day you're sinning, then you have to go back to bed. This is how I go back to bed nowadays. As I'm entering the blankets, dear God, thank you for the day.
Thank you for the day.
I thank you very much for everything. God, give me the strength to not sin. Like, I know, like, so it's like, I learned that every time that you're straying away from God, that's when He wants you closer.
Yes.
So even in the moment where I'm feeling far away from Him, it's just a trick that the devil is playing on me, or whoever is playing on me to stay away from God. But I know He needs me closer.
Thank you. When you feel low, what do you tell yourself? Real quick.
I'm a champ, bro.
I'm a champ.
I felt low before. I've been here. Even worse. I made it out. This is kids' play. I can do better.
Okay. Real quick. What advice would you give a young Zambian struggling to accept themselves? Accept themselves.
You are only prolonging your suffering. It's either you accept yourself now and end the suffering, or suffer a little bit more. At the end of the day, you're either going to accept yourself. There's only two extremes. It's either suffer or you accept yourself. And identity in oneself is what gives us true powers. And you'll notice that you stop hating people for no reason once you know yourself.
Yeah.
Because imagine if I'm hating Boz for starting a podcast. It should have been me. I don't even like podcasts, man. Look at Boz rapping. It should have been me. I don't even like music.
Yeah, right.
Or Boz hating me like, Johnny's skating at Grand Skate Tour.
I can't even stand on a skateboard,
it should have been like, you need to realize, like,
yeah,
God has called you on earth.
Yeah.
And He has given you a purpose. And this purpose, that's the moment that you discover who you are. And it's literally tailor-made to you to the T. It's like your fingerprints, bro. It cannot be duplicated. This is why people are doing the same thing. But why is one person's thing moving forward and the other person's thing not moving as fast?
Yeah.
And then that person is going to reach, and all of a sudden the person whose thing wasn't moving fast, boom, they've reached there also in a much more shorter period than the one that reached there faster. Like, we need to accept ourselves.
Accept yourselves,
Like,
young people.
That's how you know who you are.
Yeah.
There is no Johnny K without accepting that, okay, maybe Johnny K is Johnny must skateboard. You know what I mean?
Johnny must skateboard. By the way, there's also there's two things that you're known for, I think. Skating and loving. You're a lover. This is Zambia's top lover boy. Lover boy. There's that meme you like. I love that meme also.
You see this one?
This one. I have.
He's the one.
He's the one.
No, but like, I think we just spoke about this. I think loving for me comes from how much I love myself. You know, I think people are scared of love because they're scared to be hurt.
Mm.
I learned one thing about myself. I give out so much love because I know if at all it ends or I'm hurt.
Mhm.
I've accepted it's not pretty much about me. The same way that I enter in it, I've learned how to come out of it. Because imagine you love someone wholeheartedly and you do everything right by them and then they still hate you.
That's not on you.
How is that your loss?
Yeah.
How is that your loss?
It's their loss, right?
Like, how is that your loss, bro? Like, if you do something stupid, yes, it's on you.
Yeah.
You know? But how is it your loss? The moment that you learn to take things for exactly what they are, you'll be good, bro. Believe it or not, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like it's always exactly what it is. People are gonna treat you exactly how they feel about you.
Yeah.
They are gonna treat you exactly how they feel about you. You know why? Because you're treating them exactly how you feel about them.
Yeah. Well, in conclusion, you wanna shout out to your madam?
Hey,
It's
baby.
very important before we go.
Want to shout out to Toodles. Want to shout out to my mom, for making me this handsome. No, but I love my girl so much, and I love the way she thinks. I love that she sometimes, supports some of the rubbish ideas that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And to you young people, to you young people out there, especially the young men, guys, there's a certain superpower when you learn to love someone correctly. Because the only way you can love someone correctly is learning how to love yourself. And learning how to love yourself is the greatest superpower you can have within you. It's not even about the other people at some point. If people can't easily break you, like, it doesn't matter whatever scandal you be in, you're always going to learn how to bounce back up. Guys, learn self-love. Stop jumping into these things because you're lonely and you need love.
Right.
Jump into love because you have so much love to give, not because you're lonely and you need love. That's not how love works. It's not a 50-50 type of thing. You bring your 100%, they bring their 100%, and together when you merge, guys,
that's 200%.
Magic. I tell you, I kid you not. Magic, guys. And one secret about me, I don't know if my babe will be upset, but one of the main reasons that every time before I've fallen in love, why I get into a relationship is to focus. Like the moment that I brainwash myself into hyper focusing on one person, like all these other girls don't distract me. Because there's that moment where guys have where you try to talk to this girl, she caves you. You talk to another girl, she caves you. Now
you're all over the place.
Yes. Now your energy is getting mixed up.
Yeah.
Your confidence is
going
low.
I totally agree. I think being with one person, being with one partner gives you a lot of...
Like, imagine, bro, you're worrying about other things rather than, I don't have anyone to talk to at night, or I don't have if that, let's say once a man curves their sexual desires, they've sorted out 50% of their problems. And love is not about satisfying lust, A lot of people think they're in love and the whole time they're in lust.
In lust.
They love how the person looks like. They love how the person makes them feel. They love how the person kisses them. They love when, that type of thing. But let's take out that thing. What do you have?
Nothing.
But can you really be with a person if we take out the sexual aspect of things? Have you ever been with a person and before you even ask them what do you bring to the table, you're already realizing what they're bringing to the table, bro? That the whole table and the tablecloth and the legs of the table, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And you start you get motivated,
I do.
my brother.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Johnny, we have a small gift for you. I would like you. I wrote this. You can have this as you can write your notes, but I would like you to read what I wrote. I didn't want to write, but I wrote that.
Dear Mr. Whiskey, you are a star and please keep shining always. Thank you for being my guest on the Self-Love Podcast. I hope you always love yourself. Kantumoyo Derek Mpaka.
Yes. Thank you so much.
The biggest bank in Zambia. The biggest bank in Zambia. And, I think one of the things that I've struggled with self-love is always accepting how big I am.
Mm-hmm.
You notice like when you said I'm a fan, for some reason I don't like that word. I don't think I have fans and everything like that. And
you have to accept it.
And I don't know, man.
Well, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm a fan, and I'll always be a fan. And it's a pleasure to have you. And it's always nice to have you in Moscow. If you come again, we'll still be here. You find us when you come again.
Thank you.
When you come again. Well, I was gonna say if we'll still be here.
You'll be here.
I'll be here, right? Okay, I'll be here, guys. You said
Probably
you'll be
come
here.
back together.
Okay, so thank you so much. This has been Self-Love Podcasts, where we talk about loving ourselves. And we had Johnny, Mr. Loverboy, Mr. Whisket. Akim, I want the do here right now. The outro.
Shout out to my girlfriend. Shout out to my baby. I miss you, baby.
Bro,
I think I'm ready to go back home.
last word.
Yeah.
Last word for the people before we go.
Look at my hand there.
Look up our hand. What does that mean again?
We're going to be all right.
Look into the camera, that one, and say it.
Look at my hand there. You see, look at my hand means we're going to be all right.
We're gonna be all right.
It's not that we are all right. It's a we're going to be all right type of thing. It doesn't matter what you go through. It doesn't matter the challenges. Doesn't matter the problems.
Look up our hand, bro.
Just remember.
No, let's go again, bro. Look up our hand, bro.
Like this.
What?
Boss, your hands are
Okay.
too big, man. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You're good, man. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, guys.
Spasiba.
Thank you,
Spasiba.
Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. Bye.